Once again, welcome back to the Weeb Lounge. I am Nick, and in this character spotlight, we're looking at the New Year's edition of our favorite caster character. I cannot say that again. Kyaru, New Year's edition. Now, many of the New Year Edition characters are actually really good. Kyaru's no exception. She is an incredibly good character and one you definitely want. Kind of jumped the gun there, but let's go ahead and get to the skills. First skill is the Shadow Bullet. It is a single target magic damage attack. Nothing special there whatsoever. It's just a single target attack. Can hit kind of hard at times. Skill number 2, the Wishing Field. Increases the magic attack power of all allies and gives a physical absorb barrier that scales depending on her magic attack power. So the higher you get it, the more it's actually going to absorb physical attacks. Now, regardless, it's not a huge amount, but the better she gets, the more it's going to absorb regardless. Her EX skill increases magic attack power, and if you got her at 5 stars, it's going to greatly increase her magic attack power. That's pretty much a no-brainer for her EX skill. Her Union Burst might take a little bit of explaining. Her Union Burst is New Year's Burst. It is a very large, potentially, single target magic damage attack. And the unique part of it is that it increases magic attack power based on the amount of damage you do. Okay, I'll go into that a little bit more. Now, as far as a 6-star or anything in this character, there's no 6-star. As far as special equipment, no special equipment. So if you get her, you can get her to that 5-star. She comes in at 3, you can get her to that 5-star just using the little tokens, or if they happen to be in an event, and that's all there is to it. There's nothing special to do with her. And she doesn't need it. Alright. Believe it or not, I ran out of spears again. You would have thought, you know, that I would still need spears. It's one of those things. All right, let's throw her in here and do a little fighting, and I'm going to have to double check the speed on this because I think I had it at warp. Nope, I didn't. Slow it down, slow it down. There we go. All right, now, New Year's Kyaru. I need to go over that Union Burst because it's really important. And it also helps you determine where you want this character to be. Her Union Burst, when you use it, right here, she's going to do that, jump up, and New Year's Burst it. Bam. Now, right there, she gets a damage buff. But here's the thing. When that damage buff is on her, if you can get her to cast again, she's obviously, with that buff, going to do more damage, right? Well, if she does more damage, that means the attack buff that she got is going to go up. Now, unfortunately, in between waves here, it kind of, you know, it dissipates. You know, you don't get to carry buffs over from wave to wave. But on long fights and boss fights, and I always refer back to my Green Dragon guide whenever I have a character that participates in that, and New Year's Kyaru does participate in it. Let's put it this way. You cast it once, it does a decent amount of damage, puts an magic attack buff up. She does it again soon enough before that buff runs out. She'll do more damage, which means that buff that she has gets greater. Okay, now rinse and repeat that. So every single time she does that attack, it's going to get better and better and better and better. Okay, now with the Green Dragon, there was one time where, you know, as long as all the conditions are the same and she keeps scaling up and the fight lasts long enough, I've seen her do over 1 million single target damage with this skill. Over 1 million. And she would start out, with the group that I had, she'd start out at something like 200,000, something right around in there. And then over time, because it keeps stacking, starts doing some major damage. Now, that's one of the things with New Year's Kyaru. Like, in terms of short fights, you know, like you have your 3 waves there, just normal fights. She's going to be a good magic damage caster, period. That's just kind of overall. You're not going to see her in PvP. She's not for PvP. But if you find yourself in one of those like attrition groups or whatever, and she's going to stick around for a long time, she ain't going to die, then maybe she can scale up and get that taken care of. Maybe, potentially. Now, normal fights, normal waves, she'll be an okay DPS caster. It's not that big of a deal. On boss fights, though, ones that are going to last in a single wave, a long duration, this is where she shines because of that union burst, scaling and scaling and scaling. But that's also the downside. It takes time to ramp that up. So you might have other characters that are going to be able to do as good a job or better than her if you just form a proper group around something else. She needs time. And in a lot of fights with waves, she doesn't have the time. But does that make her a bad character? No. She does good damage regardless. Her single target attack is going to hit hard regardless. So yeah. Overall, great DPS caster. There's no downside to this character at all. When the New Year's banners come up, there's going to be a lot of characters available, hopefully. Like her, New Year's Hiyori, New Year's Kokoro, and probably some new ones. You need to get her, and there's a few others. So New Year's Carol is a definite get if you can get your hands on her. She comes handy in boss fights. She's in a lot of strategies. She is a decent caster regardless. So yes, she'll have her use and she'll be used in a lot of different places. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. It looks like, from this video going up, it's only a short matter of time before the next New Year's little event comes out. They're already advertising it, and I'm looking forward to it. I already have my New Year's Carol, but there's a couple other New Year's characters I don't have, and I'm going to be rolling, probably on a live stream too. So we'll see you in the next video.